All right, we're just picking up here. We're doing some wisdom saves for the familiar flying out with Umbra to see if it was eventful or not on the way out.
Saving throws. You said wisdom?
Yep.
Alright, so it's a +2. D20. So 21.
He definitely makes it all the way through. But he's, out at the entrance of this whole flying fortress at this point. So he's maybe 300, 400 feet away from the opening that you guys kind of landed at. You fly by, you see all the, you see your ship still kind of there. You don't see any other kind of warriors standing around it without kind of investigating a little closer and looking closer. It just seems like a kind of a left alone ship right now, or abandoned ship at the moment. What would you like to do? If you keep flying out, he will kind of dispatch after the hour, or like return to his form. I don't know what happens to your familiar after the hour. Does it just disappear
It just
too?
poofs. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm just gonna have it like instruct it to dive bomb straight down to the ground. Just past the least resistant. Just go as fast as you can. Get as much distance.
right, but you're gonna still transform in the middle of the air, like
Yep.
disappear in the middle of the air, like
Yep.
before you hit the ground.
Yep.
Umbra can fly.
Yeah.
He's still bound.
Well, he
Wait.
polymorphed,
Yeah.
so he would be
You
smaller.
polymorph with all the things you're equipped with.
I mean, that was literally the whole reason I polymorphed him, is to get him out of the shackles. Okay.
Did we say he was out of the shackles? Did I say that last time? Because
Uh,
when you polymorph, you're supposed to polymorph with everything you're equipped.
Um, I don't know whether you said it or not. Um, I'm just seeing what people are saying online. We could, so we did tell Argo, though, didn't we, that a hawk was coming?
Argo split early on in the whole ruse of you guys attacking the ship.
yeah, there was no way they were going to make it there.
I mean, maybe once he's free, he can break out of the shackles. Like, free from the mind control. Right? Because that's what was, like, we don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna rule in your guys' favor because I honestly don't remember what I said. I can't remember if I said the
I don't
disappear,
think
or
it
if
was
he
even
shrunk out of his
mentioned.
shackles or not. I could see myself saying something like that because you turn into a mouse, and my brain immediately goes to mouse climbing around on chains and being kind of scurrying around. But now I think about it, I feel like I don't remember what I said about the chains, but I feel like I said the mouse was just kind of laying there, kind of going through the same emotions and feelings that he was when his dragon form. You guys have no telling on the range or the impact of his kind of domination right now.
Yep.
So I cannot share any more information because after the hour, you guys will lose sight. So you are welcome to dive bomb as far down as you can. I guess the results will be telling as you guys dig into it.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, he's still under control, and we'll just find what's causing these dragons to be enslaved, and we'll stop that.
Yeah, and he'll be far enough away for us to have time to, like, get rid of the mind control, so...
I mean, dragons are pretty fucking fast.
I mean, yeah, but here's hoping. He's still a baby. In Lorna's eyes.
He's gonna be the final boss.
Yeah. Ruh-roh.
All right.
Moody teenager.
Okay. So as that kind of disappears, just to also recap real quick, you met Rethic. Rethic told you how to find Igneal's lair, how Igneal's dominating all the dragons. He's in the lower caverns, and she told you that the human prisoners are typically up top, in the Flying Fortress proper.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else I need to cover or recap as you guys are climbing the stairs?
Just a note from last session, we were looking at mainly finding the prisoners first, but if we can figure out, like, along the way where the big bad might be, then that's, like, a side note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
We're walking through the tunnels, and I'm in the lead, and Skybor is fake tied up as a prisoner, with the girls escorting him, with Cronus behind him, being very arrogant. So it's like we captured him and are taking him to the cell block.
And no one's in any kind of disguise right now, right?
Not Skybor.
I have my armor, what is it, the Aussie armor.
Mm-hmm. So you are wearing that armor?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else wearing anything special or specific?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So as you guys make your ways up the cavern, and you know these caverns have been pretty large, as you see the creatures that kind of dwell in them, plenty of room for them to fly around and get between different halls within the rocky fortress. You see the tunnel start to thin and narrow, and you see light kind of coming down. The ceilings here are very high, but you just look how the rocks kind of wave back and forth and jut out to kind of break up any direct line of sight. But you see the kind of rays of light peeking down, and as you get through further up this narrow, winding cavern, you guys will eventually get to a point where you guys are about one, single file as you make your way through and up these stairs. But eventually you come to what looks to be like a gate that's with a few Ashi standing on the other side of it, looking in the direction of the fortress, not necessarily that of the cave. How do you guys approach, or what would you like to do?
I'll stride forward, very determined look, like I'm supposed to be there, I know what I'm doing. And I'll yell to one of them, "You there! We have a prisoner for the cell block. Open up the gate." It's a gate across the cavern, right?
Right. It
Blocking
goes
the
in.
way.
Yep. You're kind of at the door, almost like a prison cell in a way.
Okay.
The noise kind of catches them off guard. They turn around and look at you, a little confused, and then looking at the prisoner or the so-called prisoners, as well as the other 2 people with you. The other people are like other 3 people. And who's with the other people? They're kind of eyeing
I
them
say,
oddly.
I point to Cronus and say, "This is one of the masters. We captured this spy."
Give me a deception check to see how well they're going along with this or not. Okay. They still seem very offset or off put by the fact that the others aren't in any kind of like official attire. They look at you like, usually prisoners don't come back from being going down to the the lower region. Typically the dragons eat their entire fill. What's unique about this one is that he starts kind of fumbling over the keys and fiddling with the lock and unlocking and opening the gate for you guys to kind of proceed. Him and the other guard kind of standing there a little bit on edge, but the other kind of is widening his stance and seems a little bit at ease as he's kind of just watching the assessment and letting the other one talk.
I turn back to Cronus and say, I grovel in front of him and say, "I'm sorry, Master. Please don't have these soldiers killed. They don't really know what's going on. That's why they're down here in this godforsaken post." And then I look at them, I say, hurry up. He has a bad temper."
Okay, go ahead and do another deception check.
It might be good if Cronus would like growl or
If
something.
if Cronus shows the
Well, how far away are we?
you guys are all right together now that you're going through
Right
the
at
gate.
the gate, right?
Yeah, you're at the gate.
Okay.
Another 25.
Um. What's that good? This is where I'm struggling. Only you are the only person wearing any kind of uniform. Let's see how he'll respond to that. I meant no disrespect, but if Captain Thorne finds you all out running around without your uniform, he is gonna have it with all of you. So you gotta understand the confusion and the reason why I'm not clearly understanding what's going on here, but I wasn't told we're having prisoners brought this way. I've never,
We were chased down
And
in here, and our uniforms kind of got fucked up, so we pulled whatever we could on. We're gonna go, get changed as soon as we drop them off.
Oh, you guys heard that recent assault on the fortress.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for fighting for us. Come on in and keep taking them down this way, down the halls. And by the way, when you get here, it's all you still kind of look above, and there's like a grated ceiling made of metal. Down here, you see just like pillars of like rock and stone with accents of dragon scale and some of the wings being spread over like the arches of the hallways between the pillars, and you just see kind of like almost catacomb-like pillars leading down in different directions. And he'll motion over to the west, saying, "All new prisoners go down to the interrogation room." And he kind of points you that way. Forgive my ignorance. Again, don't let Thorin see you walk around with that uniform, though.
Wouldn't dream of it.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do, or you guys just start walking that way?
Well, I guess start heading north.
Actually,
Oh.
I will look at the guards and be like, where is the captain's quarters, or where do they tend to stay at?
They kind of look extra confused at you, say, "You've forgotten where the captain's quarters are, sir?"
No,
yeah,
I'm returning from my mission from the Isles.
Hmm.
And at that point, I don't want any backlit from them, so I will fold the waistband down a little bit so they can see the mark.
Guy's eyes kind of widen. He says, "Of course, captain's quarters. Of course, they're up on the upper levels of the ship. Well, we kind of keep them up there, where, near Karai and all the rest of her lieutenants. She likes to be within close proximity to her captains, of course."
And then, without saying anything, I will turn and start walking away.
He'll actually then mention, like, you might run into Captain, if he's in the interrogation room. If you're looking for him, but
I'll find them.
That's as the rest of the group move on, I'll hang back a little bit, and I'll, like, conspiratorially, let's see, how would you say that? Conspiratorially, whatever. Whisper to these guys, he hasn't been the same since he got hit on the head during that fight. His memory tends to go.
they just kind of nod at you and just close the gate behind you and try to get out of that little uncomfortable situation. They lock the gate behind you, and you guys continue to walk in the direction they motioned you in. All right. As you start making your way through these lower levels of the ship, you can hear some of the echoes and clangs from up above that kind of make its way through the grates up high above the ceiling. They're about 30, 40 feet up in the air. So these are decent sized ceilings in these hallways. But on the left and right side, you can start to see prison cells and places where prisoners are shackled, stretched, and other kind of means of capture. Some are actually in like cages kind of hanging from the ceiling. All sorts of binds are being used in this place. The sounds of cracking whips and moans and groans of pain come from echo around these prison chambers as you walk down the halls, and you're going to start noticing some of the prisoners that are locked in the cells themselves. Some of them look mindlessly staring out in the middle of nowhere, almost not even aware of your presence or you being there. Lots and lots of Dragonborn just staring off in the middle of nowhere in this kind of expressionless state. You will also see other people here in cells that look like they're from various parts of the region. You're going to notice that there are some dwarves from as far as Sovas, some people from Agrabah, as well as Kanzu, and maybe the isles surrounding, including several people from Zanza. You're going to see like lion people, tiger folk, different were-like creatures of different animals, anamorphic type creatures in these cells. Again, not just the Dragonborns, but pretty much all the Dragonborns seem almost like in a thrall-like state. Some of the others do seem like they are also in a kind of a half-lucid state as well. As you guys start to make your way through these prison chambers, some of them kind of perk up to see some newcomers that are the ones that are not kind of mindlessly standing there, kind of get up and excited as they see people walking through the cells without uniform. Not enough yet to call out to you or say, "Hey, over here," or do anything like that. As there are some guards patrolling these halls as well, giving you kind of an awkward eye, pausing a little bit, but kind of you guys are walking like you own the place a little bit for now, so not many are questioning at this time. That may change. What would you guys like to do as you're walking through these halls?
I think that Lorna and probably Callie are probably looking for a red-headed woman, aka her sister.
Sure.
Right, I have to open up Callie's sheet.
Skybor is going to speak in Druidic as he passed by any people from Zanzan.
Okay.
And he's going to ask if they've seen anyone that looks similar to Lorna.
Okay. How are you trying to pull this off without alerting the guards if you guys talking to prisoners and stuff? As you are currently a prisoner at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask real quickly, but I'm just going to, because it's a secret language that only druids know. So, it may just come off as gibberish coming from me.
Okay, gotcha. But they're spoken words still, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. No one didn't tell me to stay quiet. I'm just saying.
Nope.
Okay. As you guys are walking, you start to kind of call out with speaking in Druidic to those that, as you recognize some people from your continent. You're actually going to see people that are dressed in not completely different. There are obviously tribes from maybe the northern parts of Korea. For the mountains, you kind of came from the woodland. You start to hear a few call back in the same language, asking for help. What was your question specifically, Skyward? Like, where have you seen?
Have anyone seen someone that looks like Lorna pass through here?
You'll hear a few voices in excitement to hear, and they're kind of some of their familiar language from their home, and some of them kind of disregard your question immediately, just kind of trying to reach out again, calling for help. And eventually you hear some kind of claim out in excitement, like, I've seen a red-haired woman, and then another one shout out from across the way, come over here and talk to, I've seen a red-haired lady. It's starting to cause a little bit of a commotion. Some of the guards are starting to walk towards your guys' direction to kind of see what's going on. What would you guys like to do?
Lorna's...
I stopped.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I reach up to Soren Butt and slap him in the face and say, "Quiet, you!" and then continue on.
Guards that were kind of close to the distance see this and slow their pace and kind of just kind of walk leisurely up to you at this point, seeing that you guys seem to have it under control, and says, prisoners are no one's supposed to be speaking to the prisoners unless you're taking them to the interrogation room. They kind of look at all of you a little bit more closely, like, why are you all not in uniform right now?
I burned them.
Lorna just kind of grabs him by the scruff
say
and keeps him.
we were
him
on a
walking.
I say we're on a special spying mission. We had to be out of uniform to blend in to where we were spying. We brought back this prisoner to interrogate for information on an upcoming attack onto the fortress. I offer the biggest guy. I said, "Hey, you want to take a shot at him? Keep him quiet."
God damn it.
We'll take the new prisoner to the holding cells. They'll extract him when they're ready to interrogate him.
Perfect.
All right. And
Yes,
he
Skyboard.
kind of lets you continue your way forward. What else would you guys like to do? There's a pretty solid amenities for prisoners, so plenty of cells to walk through and hall to walk through as you're going to the interrogation room and area for brand new prisoners. What would you guys like to do as you're making your way through the halls?
Lorna looks. So, I'm sure over the adventures, we would have learned what languages each other can speak.
Sure.
Does
Yeah.
Does Skybor speak Infernal?
I don't know.
I do not.
Damn
I
it!
speak Common, Elvish, Giant, Goblin, Halfling, Orc, Sylvan, and Druidic.
Cool. The one extra language that I speak, nobody else speaks. I don't think.
I mean, if it helps, Cronus now speaks and understands all languages.
Oh, so would he understand Druidic?
I mean, according to my thing, I understand all spoken languages.
So.
Well, it's not so. Oh, yeah. It's not so much that you can speak it; it's that you understand like the context of what they're saying.
Okay. So.
It's like thieves can't, like you can't understand thieves can't kind of deal. Like you can understand
Yeah.
the words or like the sound, I guess, but not its true message, I guess, maybe.
Okay, and does Cronus speak Infernal? You would understand because you just said that. Yeah. Lorna's going to whisper when Cronus is near, being like, What did Skybor say? Did he find out where she is?
And Skybor will be like, because of my, yeah.
Oh, sorry, this was in Infernal, so the guards wouldn't understand.
Technically, Skybor in Infernal is still Skybor.
That is true. That is true. Yep. Very true.
Go ahead. I'm
So-
sorry.
Yeah. No, so then she's like, looks over to him like those crazy eyes of like, I'm trying to like get information to you, but I can't because danger.
Actually, I'm gonna call out to the guards that just walked up to us
Okay.
and summon them back over.
Okay. You walked a little bit further down, but not too much further before you had a follow-up question. And they kind of turn their body and take a few steps closer, but they don't completely walk all the way over there. Kind of like, yes.
So I'm gonna point at Skybor and be like, this one was speaking in a language looking for a redhead. Like a red-haired woman. Where,
Shrug. Why don't we care what he wants?
because I can torture her to get information out of him.
You have any more something a little bit more specific than that? I mean, I'm sure you'll find a redhead in some of these cells.
I ain't talking.
From my understanding of the notebooks and stuff that we found on him, it kind of resembles her, and I point towards Lorna. But, like, smaller.
Lorna just shrugs like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Any chance you might have seen her. Save me some time.
I am not looking for a redhead who's a druid. I am not. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Give me a deception check here, Cronus. And this is not technically a pass-fail. I'm kind of just using this to gauge the response. So it's not like unless you roll a 1.
Meh.
They kind of just shoulders. They just kind of scratch their heads, thinking of anyone that's familiar. Like, she does look a little familiar. I mean, there's been a few new prisoners over the last few weeks. It's kind of hard to keep track of them all. Yeah, I'm sure 1 or 2 has passed through recently. Over the past few days, that look kind of like her.
Any of them captured while riding a dragon?
They kind of pause and look like they're thinking over in their heads if they've ever heard. Like, you know what? I did hear a rumor of someone getting captured recently that was riding a dragon. Thought it was odd because, most of the dragons here are under our control. It was, it was maybe like a few days ago, or I forget where we are timeline wise, but it was right before you guys were attacking the Shredder's Island. Yeah, it's been some time since she's been here. She's still around. I don't know. Sometimes Thorin can get a little rough with the new prisoners.
Was she real mouthy?
Oh yeah, I do.
Bad Scottish accent?
Maybe. I mean, I heard this through someone else. I didn't witness the prisoner firsthand, so I guess I've heard some complaints about her. Haven't heard much lip. Haven't heard much lip for her in a while, so maybe she finally learned what was good for her.
I indiscreetly slip him a gold coin. Thanks, bud.
He pockets it.
And to maintain my figure of authority, I will grab Celine by, like, the front of his shirt and lift him off the ground. Ah! And be like, don't you ever undermine me like that, and then just let him go.
I grovel at his feet. I'm sorry, Master. I was just trying to help.
Lorna's just got a good hold of Skybor.
Yeah, they'll kind of just look at this as like, you might find her in one of the prisoners, but she's been here that long, and she made it through interrogation. She's either in one of these cells here, or she might be taken upstairs, up to the middle level of the ship if she's strong and willing, or strong and able to be put to work. Plenty of jobs for the strong backs up there.
This is easily the second worst prison I've ever been to.
No tracking of where their fucking prisoners are. Great. And Lorna's just gonna continue walking with the group, and while we figure out, potentially where she might be down here.
Alright. Go ahead, give me Skyborg, or who has the highest what are everyone's passive perceptions?
Mine is 30.
Holy fuck!
Your passive is 30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the
Callie's is 25.
Alright, he sees the air and everything. He knows how the cosmos and the universe works. Actually, the game's over. Skyborg.
You see the DM.
I can literally see the end of the campaign.
You see sounds and hear colors.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Yeah, but you didn't see that slap coming, did you?
Oh, I saw it. It was in slow motion. And I couldn't do nothing about it.
No, you dodged it and you put somebody else's face there real quick and then made it look like you were slapped. It's fine.
It's been secretly Neo this whole time. Okay. Alright, well, I'm not even gonna have you roll for this then. So as you're walking maybe a good 50 feet or so away from where this whole thing happened, the guards have kind of resumed whatever they were doing prior with their normal attention and have started their own patrol, walking the way you guys were coming a little bit. And as you hear the steps of them kind of turn and walk away, you hear this psst, psst, some kind of like, someone trying to catch your attention from one of the cells, just a little bit further down the way. You hear this voice kind of calling out, we'll shoot. Okay, yeah. Hear some kind of, it's kind of like a hiss, whisper, or piss. Someone's trying to get your attention. What do you guys want to do? I assume approach it or continue?
Lorna doesn't hear shit.
Skybor will subtly walk towards that direction, kind of make it seem like Lorna is guiding me that way.
Totally going with it.
Okay. You see this older dragonborn with yellow eyes and paling, pale kind of, his scales kind of paling. He's a bronze dragonborn, and he's not bronze. I'm sorry.
Cronus, it's your dad.
No, bronze is right? Shit. There's copper, bronze.
Yeah, there's bronze.
Bronze. Okay. And he's kind of trying to get your attention. He looks like he's kind of been here for some time. He seems kind of haggard and kind of half lucid a little bit too, as he's not got complete form of his body, as he's kind of holding himself a little bit with using the prison bars to kind of keep himself upright and kind of get his face close. I've seen someone looking like you. In fact, I would say it was a spitting image.
What, the redhead?
Yes. I wasn't sure how you would do after the interrogation. It's been many days since I've seen you. He's starting to kind of talk like he loses his mind. It's slowly transitioning from he thinks he saw someone like you to now he thinks you are the person he saw, Lorna. How are you walking around down here?
Lorna's going to hand Skybor off, quote unquote, to Callie. And then she's going to go up to the prisoner and be like, I don't know. How did I leave this place? When did I leave this place? I can't remember.
That's he is struggling. I haven't seen you since they took you to the interrogation room, and they kind of dragged you out of it. I kind of admit I expected the worst.
Where did they take me after the interrogation room?
He kind of points down again, kind of near the interrogation room, but there's another kind of hallway shooting off. It looks like down there. That's only for two things. There's two things meant for down there. Either cleanup or getting promoted to the more wonderful life of the work or life above deck.
Right. Yeah. That must be where I went.
How you don't look like you've suffered anything though.
I heal quickly.
Get in here, child. Get in here quick before the guards see you. They're going to do worse to you this time if they catch you out not doing what you're told.
Okay. I'm here to help and get us all out. So don't make a fuss. Have some food, and she'll hand over what little food she has on her. And I'll be back. Right? I made it this far.
I am going to need everyone to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no. What did I do?
Okay.
Do we know if Callie has anything special for wisdom saves?
She's proficient in it.
Yeah. Sure is, bud. There she is, 23. Cool. Okay.
All right. Accepting the roll, or are you using a fate token?
Oh wait. Did I use my inspiration last time?
I think so.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. At this time, the once kind of looses, kind of in and out guy, he's gone now, and all you see is this kind of mindless looking dragonborn just staring off in the distance, looking right past you as if he can't even see you no longer. He doesn't spend much longer before he just kind of lets go of the bars and sits back down in his seat and stares aimlessly across his prison cell. Everyone else, Skybor and Lorna, you feel this overwhelming pressure kind of pushing down on you. You felt a little bit of annoyances, nothing to really cause too much alarm from before, unlike Cronus, where you felt this pressure flying towards the ship, and once you landed, it starts to kind of mess with your heads a little bit, and you're all going to hear the same kind of guttural words kind of resonating inside your mind, saying, submit, obey. Cronus, you
I don't have the +4. I forgot to turn that off.
Sure, but everyone else, you all kind of feel the same things. Actually, I'm sorry, Skyward, do you have saving or advantage, or is that a 14?
14.
So this is happening to you as well as Lorna. So I'm sorry. So Cronus, this one was a little bit harder to shrug off as the last one was. Uh, Skybor, Lorna, you guys feel this voice echoing your mind, and it's scrambling your thoughts around quite significantly. Eventually, you guys get your bearings back and stuff, but for a moment, it's almost like you forgot who you were and where you were, and almost like you're stuck as a prisoner in your own body, in this kind of bewilderment. It lasts quite a little bit, but it is kind of having some kind of lingering effects on you as you kind of regain your senses. You guys will have disability on ability checks for the next hour.
Ooh. Damn. So like exhaustion for an hour. Level 1.
Yes,
Fun.
essentially. Yep.
Yay.
Fun.
Yay. It's just kind of that zoned out, facing the bars, doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So good. Right.
All right.
Where were we? What were we doing? We were doing things.
You all would notice a significant, or a noticeably different in Lorna right now. It's pretty apparent what her and Skyward have both went through right now.
Ernest will look Lorna kind of like in the eyes and be like, "Are you okay in there?"
Yeah. What's going on? We're doing what now? Right, we were rescuing... Right. Sorry, something weird just came over me. I don't know. I'm good, I think. Let's just keep on going. Yeah.
Skyward, how you doing?
He just zones out for a moment.
Yeah.
You guys continue down the hallway, and you guys are getting pretty close to the most noticeably different and distinguished room in this otherwise pretty repetitive prison cell hallway that you've been walking through. And it seems like it has some extra latches and a vaulted door on it, and you'll notice some kind of bars across the little opening in the window. It also has that other branching hallway leading further away from that room. As you guys approach, you will start to hear some moans, like some, outbursts of pain coming from that door, muffled by the door, the stone itself. But it seems like there's something actively going on there as you hear some wincing and cries for help. Outside.
A female voice?
No, this time it's just a male's voice.
Okay.
As you kind of get closer and closer, I'm just assuming you guys are keep heading this direction unless you tell me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hear some louder voices coming in, shouting over at them. It's hard to make out what exactly they're saying without stopping and investigating, but it's definitely another voice shouting at the person that is clearly being put through the ringer at the moment. Down the or go ahead. Sorry.
I feel like we should help, but at the same time, what do you guys think? Because I know we have to keep up this ruse.
We'll
think
just go ahead and describe what else is in the hallway, just so you guys have all the info real quick. So you also see near the in the hallway, it looks like to be some guards' quarters. There does seem to be some guards socializing in this quarters. It's just a handful. You'll see things as proper bunks and different things for their equipment and stuff here where they kind of collect and manage their supplies. It is behind another gate, and there are 2 guards at the gate, kind of blocking the prison, going straight into obviously their section. But this looks to be the way either up into the middle level of the ship, or to the cleaners, as the person that you were talking to before described. That's also going on in this hallway.
So, do you want to go up to the cleaner's level? The Dragonborn said she might be up there.
Well, are we doing that, or are we going to help this person
I don't know
that we can hear?
I don't know that we can. There's guards right over there. They're going to hear the commotion. I mean, we could. What do you two think?
I say stick with the mission, finding your sister.
Skybor?
Stick with the mission, and if we come across anything that may be the source of what's controlling the dragons, destroy that.
I'll be right back. My kite knocked over something. But yes, let's move forward.
Okay. You guys continue way down the hallway to the gates, lead to the prisoners' quarters. And actually, you know what? This is a good moment for me to go real quick, grab a drink. Is it okay if we take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll pick up here, and where we guys are talk to the guards at the next gate leading to their quarters. I'll be right back.
Mhm.
We need one sneaky person to stay behind while the rest of us continue forward. And once we get to once we free Lorna's sister, we create a huge distraction. I just straight up start attacking. During this whole thing, the guards will most likely come and try to stop us. And if that's the case, then the sneaky person could start unlocking these sails and freeing people, which could also be allies in the fight. That's my 2 cents.
I mean, it could work. I feel Cronus is probably the sneakiest out of everybody here.
I mean, Salim is pretty sneaky. Plus, I think you'd be more valuable in a distraction.
I'm back. Sorry.
And that's the meaning of life.
Number 42.
Always 42.
So I was saying that that maybe if like one of the sneaky ones stay behind while the rest of us continue forward, free Lorna's sister, and then create like a really big distraction, like attacking, and then while the guards are like scrambling to try to take us out, the sneaky person who's splintered off from us will start unlocking, start freeing the prisoners, which could mean that, you know, we get allies in the fight as well.
Okay, and this is after we've gone up to the cleaning area?
After freeing your sister.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. So we haven't gone up yet?
No.
Okay, cool.
Silent went to go get a drink.
Okay, cool. Whew. The cat's knocked over the water fountain. I quickly went through 2 towels to clean it up. Yay. And one of my servers got a security message from Discord because, you know, spamming messages. Great.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right. So you guys approach the gate, and the guards see you guys approaching, and again, they kind of judge you up and down again, trying to assess these. They're assuming Ashi approaching so confidently and casually to the gate that they're not wearing hardly anything Ashi related. As you guys approach, they kind of pause and look directly at you all. Not saying anything first, just staring directly at your group. And eventually one will motion as if they're going to unlock the door. Or actually, I'm sorry. You guys are still carrying a prisoner. They're like,
I am the prisoner.
are you forgetting something? New prisoners go to the cells before they have to be interrogated before.
That's
out.
right. I have no information. That's right. I belong in a cell.
I will look at the guards and be like, this one's a special case.
No, I'm not.
In what way?
That's above your pay grade. And then I will show them the mark as well.
Go ahead and give me a deception check there, Cronus. They kind of stare at you pretty long and hard.
Are you
Eventually,
questioning his authority? Really?
You're asking me to question Karai's authority. I mean no disrespect to you, Master, but Karai is master of this ship. But it must be important if she were to trust this prisoner with you. And he starts to kind of move to the keys and starts to unlock the gate. I'm not sure why you all are walking around outside of your uniform. It sounds like you are coming back from a special mission, but Thorn likes to run this ship pretty tight. So if you don't want any grief from him, you might want to do your best to look the part, or look your best before going up on the middle and upper decks where the prisoners are working. It makes us look bad if we're not a unified front.
I say, thanks for the tip. You got any extra cloaks they can put around them?
He kind of points to the food barracks off to the side right after you guys are let through into the gate and into the the guards' quarters. He locks the gate behind you guys. From here, you can see more of the bunks and stuff, and all the extra gear laying around for the Ashi. You'll notice also stairs that kind of lead further up out of this room to an upper floor, and much more light coming through that hallway as well. Natural light, I should say. They'll kind of reach over to take the prisoner Skywar from you. If you guys choose to go change or get different things from the quarters.
Maybe do rotation. Lorna will stay out.
Well, I'm already dressed like him, so I can stay here with Skyborn.
Perfect. The three of us will go and quickly rummage around and find something.
If you just find cloaks to put on to cover up your...
Yeah.
And I'll go and punch Skyborn in the gut once or twice. But
he's...
I'm an actor, so I can pull my punch.
Problem is, he's a method actor.
Give me a performance check there, or a deception check, Salim. See how well you pull this off.
I should have got an Oscar.
You make the punches to the gut seem very believable. Skybor, I assume you play into it, or are you being oblivious?
I could try.
I'll use a deception roll. I just didn't know if Skybor would be like, "What are you doing?" I didn't feel it.
Your punches are weak.
So Cronus, Lorna, you guys get fine uniforms here. Obviously, it's going to replace whatever you're currently wearing. You can find stuff that's not, armor though, like kind of what Slim was mentioning, like a cloak or something that's has some of the color and the Ashi symbols on it and trim. Do you guys wish to do anything else here in the quarters or talk to this guard some more? He seems to be kind of examining Skywar. You've already kind of told him that he's not able to ask questions about this prisoner, but he's just obviously studying Skywar to see what possibly can make him seem so important.
So I chat him up with small talk. So how you think the battle's going and all that stuff?
Keeping an eye on Skybor, he kind of lingers there for a moment before looking over at you to talk about it. If I'm supposed to believe the rumors, we're supposed to be getting close to moving out of here any day now and start taking this back over to the heading over to the northern kingdoms. Keep hearing word that they've got the Forgotten have kind of fallen behind in controlling those lands, and we need to go back and reestablish order of things. Things have been a little bit chaotic with
I heard that
what's happening in the Isles to the east.
I heard that the giants abandoned us. Went over to the other side. Dirty, stinking, tall traitors. Never trust somebody over 6 feet.
One of the guards is 7 feet.
He kind of laughs at the comment. Really, it's been kind of crazy here and erratic with Karai cracking down everything. So like basically she's taken over the entire clan after what she heard has happened through the stronghold. I think she's kind of feeling the pressure of all that, and also she doesn't like the fact that her right to the clan has been challenged. So she's been all daggers.
See, I think they should send some assassins and assassinate those leaders. That group that's been running around causing all kinds of trouble. Be a lot easier on us if they did.
That's above my pay grade. But I hope they're getting close. We can't afford any more major losses like that. Basically, the best of what the Ashi has left remaining.
Yeah, at least we're pretty safe
recruit.
up here.
We'll recruit some more, just like we always have.
Well, it looks like they're back. I guess we'll get back to what we were doing. Stay tough.
And the guards will kind of go back to what they were doing as you guys head up to the middle level of the ship. Is there anything else you guys want to do before walking out on the next level?
We went and got clothes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Lorna will grab an extra set for Skybore and just tuck it in the bag.
Okay.
Actually, and seeing her grab, I would grab a set as well.
Like set of what? I'm sorry.
Like an extra set
Oh
Of
yeah,
uniform?
for God.
for Lorna's sister since she forgot.
But I like to point out she thought about Skybore.
Yeah. Lorna always
Right.
thinks about Skybore.
Give me a sleight of hand checks to see if you're trying to sneak in extra uniforms in your bags from both of you.
People in there?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
people
oh,
kind of
oh.
in these quarters. Some are eating, some are drinking.
Okay. Okay.
All right, it's not like you guys, they assume you're supposed to be there, so they're not watching you too closely. You guys pull it off and slip the extra uniforms in your bags.
Sick.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
As you guys make your way up the stairs, heading to the next level of the ship, you could already tell a difference by the smell of fresher air coming through. These prisons have been kind of rank with prisoners soiling themselves and all sorts of other kind of human blood and other kind of fun stuff that's kind of just been sitting stagnant here in these prison cells for some time. Up here, some fresh air, but you start to see and hear a little bit more bustle around here. It's not long as you walk up through this kind of area where you see more stone and wooden decks, and you'll start to also see what looks to be like shops and workshops kind of scattered through this area. It's almost like a city on top of this massive flying fortress. People are kind of working on weapons, and you'll see some training grounds as you kind of look around to see what all the activities. You're also going to see prisoners in shackles and chains around their necks and their feet and ankles, kind of shuffling around, working on various trades, carrying heavy parts. Some carrying massive amounts of stone, lumber, things that are being used to either work on the ship or just needed around different areas. Are you guys just kind of walking around?
So can I?
Yeah. What?
Can I discreetly examine the shackles and stuff as we go by them? Are they just Are they magical protections? Or are they just plain chains, shackles, and such?
Do you have detect magic?
Yes, I do.
Well, you're welcome to use that if you'd like to see if they're magical, but yes, you see that they're pretty strong. Um, hard metal, black metal chains seem to be shackling these prisoners. Um, and you will detect that there are some magical effects on these shackles and stuff as well. You're gonna actually pick up some magic kind of coming uh, from all sorts of areas, from like the different Ashi walking around the ship. But specifically looking at these chains, you are going to see some magic, and it's some kind of dominating enchantment type magic applied to these chains.
So, as a thief, I couldn't just pick the lock and free people.
You're not sure what kind of spell it is. It doesn't say it. You
Okay.
couldn't. It's just there is some magic upon it.
Okay.
I mean, there's places where it looked like a normal manacle would be unlocked from your experience.
Okay. Good to know for future reference.
Sure. Doesn't take long though before you start for you to wander around these the middle level deck before you start hearing the cracking of whips and the same kind of pains coming from different areas of the ship. Lots of noise on this ship as people are either working on things, training, or being put to work around the ship. You start to hear the sound of like mechanical gears and pulleys and different things across the ship, coming kind of from the direction of where you hear this cracking and stuff coming from. Do you guys explore that, or do you guys try to stay away from that? Sort of try to avoid that.
Maybe we take a peek? Because, I mean, who the hell knows where she is at this point? What do you guys think?
I think first we need to get Skyboard changed.
I'm a pretty decent tracker too.
Yeah, and we would have given you the uniform and, like, you could have slipped it on at a stairwell, maybe? If you wanted to.
Is there it's like a city? There's places like little alleyways between some of the shops that you could duck in, and then if you all are trying to pull off the ruse that you're all part of the Ashi, there's definitely opportunity for that. Is that what you guys are doing? You're no longer doing the prisoner routine?
I mean, I feel that's best
Mm-hmm.
since they keep questioning why we have them.
Okay. Are you wearing a uniform, Cronus? I assume too, right?
I would have grabbed like a cloth top.
Okay. All right. Say as you start making your way over, you're going to see, again, all sorts of prisoners upon the ship, clearly from the region, some from Agrabah, some from Sova, some from Kanzu, some from Zanza. All of them doing work upon the ship. And as you get closer and closer to where the whips are being cracked, you're going to see kind of a large, almost market square with high ceilings, or I'm sorry, not high ceilings. There's no ceiling here, but kind of like, well, there's, yeah. Over this area, there's no ceiling, but there's a further level up above that is not in the main center portion of this fortress where you guys are at right now, and you'll see that there are several like pillars leading up kind of to the higher up, and lots of these prisoners kind of pushing this wheel to spin the center columns, um, cranking. You hear the sound of stone and wood kind of rubbing and hitting each other as things lock into place. Very much so. Think like Pirates of the Caribbean, like when they're like pushing that. I don't know what they call that, the spinning wheel, when they're trying to do that. But there's a couple of these, and you see large, like the wheels are quite large, and you see just almost 30 prisoners on one wheel. That's how massive these are. As they are just shuffling their feet in chains to keep these things spinning. You're going to see some prisoners that are lifeless that are falling on the ground around this area that are being drug off in piles. Either those that have keeled over or died in the process of being whipped if they couldn't proceed. On this outskirts of this, there are still many other things going on, such as lugging those rocks and heavy equipment around, and you'll see some of the prisoners on the sides kind of the area of this big market starting to group together and moving things, but they're going a little slower than the others. And Skyward, with a passive perception of 30, you are going to recognize that some of them are a large number of them. I say large, it's like 5 or 6. Are Zanzans. It's probably the largest number, or I'm sorry, not just only from Zanza, from your country, like tribes from where you're from. This is probably the largest grouping of them all together, without being like scattered amongst all the other sorts of prisoners. With your passive perception, you can see that they are speaking to each other in whispers and hushed tones as they continue to kind of do their chores and tasks. Looking them over, you will also notice someone familiar. A native, a female native from one of your neighboring tribes from where you used to live. You would have known her when you were a young child, when the chiefs were to get together and have their big ceremonies. You've ran across her a time or two. She's not in your tribe, but she's in one of your neighboring tribes in your area.
All right, just so you know, my observant feat allows me to read lips, so
Okay.
I can discern what they're talking about.
Okay. Excuse me, Lorna, please remind me what Flora is your sister's name, right?
Correct.
Okay, you're definitely going to see Flora, the lap mouth across her lips. You're going to notice that as they're talking about some plans that are, when are they, basically we're hearing them like, when are we going to take action? We have to act soon. I agree with Flora. If we don't, do something, we're never going to get off this forsaken place or forsaken ship.
Okay, cool.
It's
So
kind of
they're-
hard. It's kind of hard to hear what the others. They gotta have their back to you, but you see
Yeah.
her kind of speaking, and she hasn't noticed you. You probably don't remember her. You met her a couple. It's more.
I've
of
seen
each
her
other.
around, but I haven't actually met her.
Right? Like, exactly. You got it.
Okay. I'm going to let the others know about they're conspiring a plan to escape with
Uh-huh.
Lorna's sister,
Okay.
and I'm going to head over to them.
Lorna's going to come with and just quietly whisper to Skybor, let's just make sure they see us. And then tell them not to do anything yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to approach them.
As you guys take steps in their direction, they're pretty observant of their surroundings, and you see the large grouping start to separate a little bit more, and they're kind of more heavily focused on their tasks, working a little bit harder. You see her kind of moving things and equipment into wagons and crates to kind of get ready to bundle and move them off into the next job site on the ship. As you approach, she keeps her head down, looking at her equipment as she's loading and trying to focus only on her task. Almost like a kid hoping that the teacher doesn't call on them in class as you guys approach. And she tries to get done with her task and out of there as quickly as she can.
I'll speak in Druidic. We're here looking for my friend's sister. I noticed that you were referring to her in your conversation.
Your response, sir, I don't know what you're talking, or what you're speaking in Druidic.
Yep.
Oh. She pauses, like her body pauses, but then she starts to slowly continue her task and getting things ready to move. And she kind of speaks in a husher tone, quietly, like saying, "I'm not so sure I know what you mean, sir." Kind of still feeling you out.
And then Lorna just kind of peeks her head over in her line of sight. Doesn't say anything.
I am Skybor from oh crap, what my tribe is.
Are you wearing the mask and stuff, or are you? I'm sorry, I should have asked. I'm kind of imagining you guys in masks and everything. Are you not wearing a mask?
I thought we were wearing cloaks.
Okay, so you're not hiding your face at all.
No.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. That changes things a little bit. Go ahead, Lorna. What were you gonna say?
Are there people without masks?
A lot of the guards are all wearing masks. Not everyone.
Okay.
You would, you know what, Cronus, with your background history, you will know that a lot of the more senior members of the clan don't have to wear masks and keep their face covered most of the time. They can either wear bandanas or whatever kind of gear that signifies their rank in the clan. It's mostly the lower ranking guards that all have to kind of keep their faces shielded and covered. So, excuse me, let me back that up a little bit as you kind of are approached. And then, so let me see here. Shoot. For the most part, I'm keeping it the same, but then she's going to start kind of like, as you start to speak Druidic, she kind of looks up and her eyes kind of look, kind of go wide, and she looks down again. And as she's kind of trying to keep up the ruse of this task, but you clearly have unsettled her, Skybor, and have shooken her a little bit. She kind of like, Skybor, what are you? How did you get here? What are you doing here? Why are you dressed like them? As she kind of still kind of bundling her stuff.
I am incognito.
I thought you disappeared. Your elders said that you had been gone for quite some time.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure things out. Got a little sidetracked. But, yeah. We're here to rescue Lorna's sister and try to free these dragons and help you guys out as well. Maybe crash this whole place down. That'll be fun.
Your casualness in such a huge plan is kind of baffling, but she still is trying to keep focused, looking down at her work and bundling. She is talking to you. And she'll ask, like, who is your sister? As she kind of looks over at you, or looks at you, Lorna. And then as she kind of sees your red hair, she goes, and looks at your familiarity. She goes, "Oh, you're seeking Flora.
Sure.
One that came in on the one that flew in on the dragon. Came in with the dragon."
Mm-hmm. That would be her.
not really the place and time to talk about this. As she kind of looks around, sees all the guards in her area. We'll soon be going, or they'll take us most of the prisoners from this shift down to ourselves in the evening hours. Perhaps we could talk there. She kind of looks nervously around at the guards, kind of standing at different posts around the market, looking down at the prisoners to make sure they're all maintaining their activities. I could arrange for Flora to meet us there. They got her off on this deck somewhere doing God knows what. And she kind of just gestures to everyone being assigned all these kind of random tasks on the ship. This labor.
Real quick.
How do you go ahead, Curtis.
Is she wearing any jewelry of any kind?
No, not except for a few beads and feathers in her hair that they didn't take out. Maybe some.
Real quick, who has the other earring?
Salim. I don't think
I
we
have one.
changed that, yeah.
I have an earring and I have a pair of goggles. Cinder goggles.
I will take my earring out and try to slip it to her.
Okay, go ahead and do a sleight of hand check. Okay. You kind of pass it off to her as she makes it look like she's grabbing for more stuff to put in her cart. As she kind of secretly takes it from you. Not really the best place to make a fashion statement, but she'll put it in her one of her existing piercings.
I'm over at the shops looking for something to eat, but keeping an eye on what they're doing. So I saw what he did.
I was like, I can't really, she says, I can't really speak here in the open, but Flora's been talking about how we can possibly get off the ship. I don't have anything concrete yet, but we're trying to talk to the prisoners that are still sane enough to fight back, to possibly get involved. Morale's pretty low. They've broken a lot of our spirits, though. It's been kind of hard to convince people to do anything in numbers. And at this point, some of the other prisoners are walking by. These are the non-thrall-like, and they kind of look at you, at her, and at your group, and kind of anger and disgust a little bit. Their face towards Leora. Oh, sorry, you don't know her name yet. Towards her, and she's like, this looks really bad. I really can't keep talking to you like this. You guys are clearly not with the Ashi. Could you sneak back to the prison quarters down, and tonight?
We can. Yeah. We were hoping to do this faster, but we'll see. We'll try.
Make sure to grab Flora in the shuffle so we get a cell together. We can talk more about our plans.
Good.
Or your plans, that is.
And I'll speak into the earring. I'll say, can you hear me now? So this is a way to communicate with us on the sly. She should be able to hear me, right?
Guards haven't noticed it, but if you look for it, you should be able to, or the guards probably haven't made anything of it, but if you keep an eye out for it, you'll probably be able to make it out. Look for one of the cells with a big X kind of scratched into the stone surface of it. That's kind of where I've been meeting others that have been wanting to talk about things of this nature. Become kind of a melting pot of different ideas of how to get out of this hellhole. And she'll kind of motion at you and grab her stuff and start getting it ready to wheel away. And so, as to not draw any more attention. And I will say at this time, you will get the eye of a few guards on the post, and to a point where she starts walking away, that they'll bark down at you all and say, "No talking to the prisoners without captain's orders."
Laura just raises her hands and walks away like, fine, be an ass. She'll head out.
So. Okay.
She's trying not to internally panic. It's fine. They're so close yet so far.
All right. I'll say a few other things you're going to notice here from time to time is, of course, the dragons flying around in the open air, kind of above and around the fortress. You are going to see some of the smaller dragons kind of resting on the peaks of different buildings and pieces of structure of the flying fortress, kind of just laying there and resting leisurely, looking down upon the prisoners. Or looking down just upon all the bustlings of the deck. What would you guys like to do in the meantime? Would you guys like to explore? Or are you guys going to try to hide out in some alleyways until later on? Or what would you guys like to do?
Skyward will approach one of the guards, which I'm going to put up a mask so that I'm not like pretending to be a higher ranking officer or anything. And I'm going to go to one of the guards and be like, I'm new here, and I'm supposed to be guarding something that's controlling the dragons. I don't know where that's at.
Kind of looks at you with a weird expression. You mean you're supposed to be tending to Igneal? Sounds right. They usually stick the grunts down there in his lair to feed, clean, and do as he wishes and needs. Get back over to the lower quarters. They'll give you your assignment and your provisions to go take care of Igneal. You gotta keep him fed, otherwise he'll go looking for food on his own. And he doesn't care about Ashi versus prisoner if the hunger's right.
That's very wise of you. I'm gonna go back to the others like, okay, so what's controlling the dragons is probably something alive. Maybe
It's a large dragon.
Maybe.
The white dragon already told us that. That white dragon that was down. Yeah. She told us that it was a large dragon. I think she said it was a red dragon. And he's in a lair.
I think there's a way we could... Okay, I think I got a plan.
I assume you guys are offside, like walking down alleyways when you're talking.
Yes.
Hey guys, come over here real quick. Listen to what this guy has to say. Okay, as you guys walk away, you guys have this conversation. Go ahead.
Alright, so I could possibly polymorph this dragon. Possibly, assuming they don't resist. If they don't
Yes.
resist, I could turn them into something very, very weak. And we could
Okay.
just, that doesn't fly,
Okay.
and we could just drop them all the way down.
Oh, we could. Smart.
But that's if he doesn't pass my
You know what?
my spell.
He needs to
Yeah.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. No,
And dragons are pretty wise.
I mean, use everything, and we'll fly it out.
Or
Or
if we turn it into something small, we put it in the bag of holding and let it suffocate in there.
but then he'll just turn back.
Inside the bag of holding, which will suffocate in there.
I'm pretty sure the bag of holding is but so big.
Yeah,
Damn
I'd probably poof out.
Alright, Skywar's idea's better.
Or
I like where your thought was. It was there.
we could go down and attack him.
And let this
And use
entire
my
place know we're
fly.
here.
And use my 5 arrows of slaying
Oh, I think we're using
that
that
are dragon
regardless.
slaying
Yeah.
arrows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we get rid of him, the other dragons should break free of their control.
They would, yes.
And then it's going to be massive chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't take him out, then anything else we do is going to have every dragon on this place after us.
Exactly. I think maybe you just keep on trying to do that, Skybor. One of us who can fly grabs him, goes over to the edge of the ship, like, depending on where it is, if there's an opening there, which, you know, you think there would be, and we drop him.
I mean, you do recall that his lair is deep in the caverns that you guys came out of, where Rathlick told him it's not really out in the open.
I'll just polymorph him to something very unwise.
Yeah.
Just spam him.
Yeah. I mean, but to be fair, Silent, you would think being a dragon, he has an opening there so he could go out. Right?
Sure, he can fly. Yeah, he
Yeah.
can fly out. You
Yeah. So there's
may
an open
ask
space.
about. You would have to ask more about his lair, or
I mean,
explore or talk more about
yeah.
some more of the architecture, or his master. Those are things you can
Yeah.
explore and dig into.
So, an ancient red dragon, wisdom of 15,
You don't know his
the
stats.
saving. Well, just the average. I mean, he's probably much more ancient and much more wiser, but he's going to pass the saving throws.
We never know.
Mhm.
We never know. We have spell slots.
Does Callie have
Yep.
Bane?
Let me see if she has it prepared. She does not have it prepared.
Ah, okay.
But if we're not doing this today, she could prepare it. Right? It's something she could do because they're expecting us to be there that night. So I don't think we're doing any of this today.
Trying to see what else I could do to increase our chances of success.
While you're doing that, I will look over at Salim and tell him to hand over the earring.
Sure, boss.
And then I will give it to Skybor.
Sure, boss.
That way you can talk Druidic with her. And it would still make sense in the context of what she speaks.
Man. Yeah, that's all I got. I just got polymorph. I also got earthbind, but that doesn't really make them fall. They just slowly glide down.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks.
Well, maybe you'll have some more ideas after you speak with her and her fellow rebels this evening. Is there anything else you guys want to do aboard the ship, or just kind of hide out as long as possible and go unnoticed as much as possible?
Yeah, I'm just going to be like the type of worker that just looks like he's working, but he's really not. He's just one of them lazy.
Sure. All right.
I'm gonna go around, check out the shops, talk to the shopkeepers, ask them, "Hey, is there any way to rent some of these slaves? I got a big party planned later on."
God.
They will not be very receptive to that.
Okay.
They kind of just dismiss you as trying to mess around, and they seem to be not interested in bothering with that kind of chit chat at the moment.
Anything good in the shops?
Mostly just like equipment, places where they're making more weapons and armor for the troops, any kind of armaments that they're using aboard the ships, such as stuff for their cannons and their other weapons aboard the ship. It's really just business, blacksmithing stuff that the Ashi needs.
It's not actually shops that you would go in and buy stuff. It's more like a blacksmith type.
Blacksmiths, workshops, things like that about the ship, things that they need to make
workshops. It's
right.
Not shops, store shops. It's workshops.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. You got it.
Okay.
Well, if there's nothing else you guys are specifically looking for, trying to do on the ship that day, I will need some wisdom saving throws from everyone, please.
That was Kelly. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Does a 15 pass?
So, Celine and Callie, you guys see, as you guys are kind of getting been here for a little bit longer now. You guys got there during daybreak, so it's not too long to nighttime. And after kind of hiding out and stuff, you feel that same pressure and that impending voice on you to submit and obey. At this time, as you shake it off Salim and you shake it off Callie, you look over to Lorna and Cronus and Skywar, and they all look to be in a stupor and daze. Cronus, your eyes are starting to kind of dilate on their own, similarly to how you saw Umbra chained in the lower prisons before. You guys eventually shake it off a good 30-45 minutes into this kind of stupor and come back to your normal senses, though. Salim and Callie are just kind of there watching you guys come to about 45 minutes later.
Oh boy.
What happens?
Maybe we should get some silver Reynolds wrap and make hats for them.
Uh-huh.
During that time, you guys don't really have too much memory. Just again, kind of almost like you're trapped within yourself and unaware of anything or anyone around you, while you're kind of stuck inside your own mind.
So failing the first time gives you disadvantage on ability checks. What
For
does
an
the
hour.
second time do?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for an hour.
Yeah, only for an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, the effects are going to be a little bit longer lasting. So you guys are going to have disadvantage on ability checks for the next 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Real quick, like this effect, is it like a charm?
Yes, and I know what you're going to say, that you're immune to charms. You're not immune to this charm.
Okay.
I would say specific, or especially you are not immune to this charm.
Alrighty.
All right. After the hour, a few hours pass, you do start to see prisoners that were once coming from the main area start to be led down towards the way where you guys first came to the upper deck. It's easy for you to kind of jump into the fold and act like you're escorting prisoners. It's kind of hard to make find the woman you spoke to earlier, Skywar. But as you kind of follow along with the other guards and prisoners, they eventually all get led downstairs, and it doesn't take your group long to find the cell with the X kind of carved into it with some rock. And as you guys kind of approach and things start to settle, guards kind of return to their quarters, others return to their posts. You will see a familiar face through the bars of the girl you were speaking to, but also your lovely redheaded sister Lorna, in the same cell. She looks a little beaten and bruised, but she is, and her clothes are definitely wanton, but she is there and actually speaking with the woman you spoke to earlier, as you guys in the cell ahead of you.
Checking to make sure that there aren't like a bunch of guards around.
You definitely want to hang back for a little bit. You don't want to just run up the cell. After the things have settled and quieted, you guys are, for the most part, on your own. Definitely don't want to be shouting or anything like that, but you guys do have some type of privacy at the moment.
Lorna speed walks
I'm
up
gonna-
there.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang around out in the corridor, find a nice little shadowy niche to sit in and keep an eye out both ways for guards.
Mm-hmm.
As Lorna gets up there, she just kind of whisper yells, Flora!
She
Flora!
breaks kind of she breaks eye contact with the woman she was speaking to and looks at your direction, and you see her her face just is not as bright and cheerful and full of life as you're used to. It's very gray, and her eyes have got bags on her, and she looks tired and just completely drained from being aboard this ship. And she looks over you, and that kind of lifelessness kind of I'm sorry, you see kind of life refill her cheeks, so her face gets a little flushness as she sees you, and you can see that excitement that you're used to seeing your sister, but you can see that before she kind of yelps out at you and runs towards you, you see her kind of temper those emotions, and she looks back at Leora and speaks but she's speaking to you but not looking at you, and she's, but don't look at us, like put your back against the air, like you're guarding We can't have the guards seeing us talk with one another.
Lorna turns and just kind of holds her hand back through the bar.
It takes a few minutes for the prisoners to kind of shuffle. Some of them are kind of catching on to maybe what's going on. They're kind of studying what's going on, and you see the other woman that you were speaking on the deck start to whisper some things to them to kind of settle down the other prisoners, as it clearly looks like there's a rat in the prison cell. But then it's clear that they come to terms with this, that you may or may not be a guard, and that you guys are possibly there to help them with what they've been dreaming about. Flora grabs her hands to the rails as she shuffles around and gets the opportunity to do it as discreetly as possible, and you just get the largest squeeze in your hand possible.
Lorna
And
does not let go.
And as you guys squeeze tightly through the prison bars, I think that's where we will pick up next session with what you guys want to talk to Flora about. I will say that no, that's good. I think that's good for now until you have more discussions with the other woman in Florida. But any last minute odds or ends or things you want to say or do before we take a break or I'm sorry, quit for until next session?
Nope. I'm making notes on what we need to do.
Okay.
I got a question about Callie's passive perception. Does she have observant?
Let me find it.
Yeah, I hope
believe-
Hallie's okay. It's not like
Yeah.
her to not message ahead of time that she couldn't make it.
I don't think so.
Okay. I thought she had observant and expertise and perception. I thought we had the exact same.
She has 15 in perception.
Yeah.
And I don't see observant unless she just deleted it and it's in her up like in the background.
Right. So that's why she has a 25 and not a 30.
Yeah. Because that would add proficiency, right?
It would add a plus
Expertise.
5.
Yeah. So that would have been 30.
All right. I thought she had the same as me.
Nope. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned more about the ship. Hopefully, I frustrated you just the right amount, not too much. But yeah, we'll pick up here and we'll see how things go.